and learn how to sew. I mean, I had a friend, a close friend, who was already a seamstress. She had a shop, and he said, "Why don't you just go and try to like while away time, learn how to sew?" And I was like, "Well, that's not a bad idea. I'm not doing anything at home." So I would go to a shop and sit there, like learn how to pedal the machine, and luckily I became better than even the people who were there, and who had been there before me. And she was like, "You're good at this thing. Don't you think you should take it more seriously? Like, you already know how to pedal, you already know how to sew straight lines." And it was so easy for me. It was just very easy. I guess it's a blood thing. Because both my grandfathers were tailors. Of course, I never met them, but of course, I heard stories about them, their fashion and all of that. And then it just came so easily. And after then, school came back, school reopened. And then I went back to school and I didn't even focus on me anymore. But then I would make clothes for my own self and people would be like, "Wow, this is really good. Where did you get that from?" I'm like, "Oh, I made it." And then people started asking me to make stuff for them.
It's amazing.
After a while, people said, "Don't you think you should charge for this thing? Like, you do it so well. People need to pay you for your time and for your talent." And then gradually, I started charging people. And then after school, of course, it was a little bit of hassle to get a job. And then I'm like, okay, my sister just told me, "You know how to sew. Why don't you just start pending the time you find a job?" And then I started doing it, hoping that I would get a job. And then it's been since 2013 to now. It's been 7 years. I still haven't found a job.
Doesn't need one.
Because I don't need one. Eventually, I didn't need one anymore. And here I am after 7 years. I'm doing it. I love it so much. I feel like God just kind of led me to my destiny with that little break and that little piece of advice to learn how to sew.
That's amazing. Now I can tell you, with my people, the audience watching, I can actually say it's actually calling for her. Now, and it's this is one thing I always tell people: find out your passion, discover what God wants you to do. Now I'm saying that because my mom is a fashion designer. You can imagine. My mom, when we're younger, she will take us to a store. She'll be like, "Try this, get on the machine, do this, do that." I didn't have a passion for it. It will get to a stage, she'll be so mad. Like, you're seeing this on a platter of gold, you don't want to make use of it. Now I'm kind of regretting it, but I knew, I'm like, this is not me. So for you to find out your passion, you might actually talk to God, pray about it, and God will actually show you a way. And when you find that passion, you want to go all the way. So that's what happened to her. That's amazing. Klothouse CEO, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Another thing I want to ask you. Now, what are the challenges you faced in this profession? Because I know, it's not been rosy, from beginning till now. What are the challenges you faced so far?
No, it really hasn't been rosy because I started not as a professional. I mean, nobody starts a business from the top. You start from the bottom and then you grow. But I was really an amateur when I started. And even though people liked what I did, but going into it professionally, full time, and charging people was a little challenging because people expected more. I wasn't so good at it. And as a matter of fact, there were times when people would say, "Are you sure that you want to do this? This is what you do. Don't you think you should get a job?" As a matter of fact, it was so bad that I was discouraged many times. I cried many times, and I'm like, I would make an outfit for someone, and they'd be like, "No, this is not what I asked for. Are you sure?" A lady told me one time, like, "Are you sure you shouldn't be doing something else? This is not your calling." It was so painful, but the challenge that I went through, I've been through, was at the initial stages was being professional, being very good at it. Of course, which came later because I had to now realize that times were changing. I had to improve on my skills. I had to improve on my sewing. I had to take more classes. I had to go for training and become better at what I do. And I tell people that it's not okay to just know how to do something. You have to always improve on yourself. And I saw a lot of changes. I saw a lot of difference with my work when I went for training. I had to get more training, more and become more experienced at it. And over time, I also gained experience by time. time after a couple of years, doing the same thing consistently,
Okay.
I became better at it. I became good at it because I was doing it over and over, and I didn't give up on it. I kept doing it over and over again. So that was one of the challenges that I had. Another challenge was, people and price points.
Okay.
Even when I became very good at it, it's custom clothing. A lot of women like to sew a lot.
Sure.
Women like to make custom pieces a lot, and it comes with a price. It's expensive.
That's true.
I won't say it's expensive, but people come and be like, oh, that's too much. The price is too expensive. But a lot of things go into it. The time, sometimes it takes you 13 hours to create an outfit, and then someone wants to pay you very little for it. So it was kind of challenging moving my customers to that point where they understand how much work goes into creating an outfit. Some people just feel like, oh, is it not just to cut and sew and blah blah blah? No, it's not that easy. So the price point, especially with Africans, especially with people who come from my part of the country, Nigeria, they want something very elaborate, something very stylish and raw. And then when you tell them this is how much you're going to pay for it, they're like, oh, that's too much. So it took me a while, and it's still a process. It took me a while to get my clients to where they understand that, okay, this thing, if you want something very quality, you want something very extravagant, you have to be willing to pay for it. It doesn't come cheap. So right now, some of them get it like, okay, I know if I want to do this, I have to pay.
Definitely.
This is how much I have to pay for it. This is how much time and work goes into it. And then I have to move my clients to the point where they realize that no, we can't just use cheap fabric.
Okay.
We have to use something that lasts. We have to use something quality. I do turn down a lot of clients sometimes when they're not willing to pay. Not because I don't want to do it, but because I know how much goes into it. Some people be like, oh, no, don't worry, just use whatever material you want. And I'm like, no, I because it's a name. Klothouse is a name. I can't just give you.
It's a brand. It's like
it's a brand. Exactly. I have to give you something that's quality. So those were some of the challenges. More challenges would also be here in the States, here in Houston. It's a little difficult to find consistent and faithful seamstresses.
Okay.
The work is much. This work, it's not something you can do all by yourself. So I'm always in need of tailors, of skilled seamstresses. But over time, I've had to fire, I've had to hire, and all of that because what I'm looking for, I wanted something good. I'm always needing something very professional, but it's just difficult to find tailors who want to, go learn and grow with you. It's just very difficult. So at the end of the day, it's just a struggle in that area. But nonetheless, things are going fine. Every business comes with its own challenges, and we just keep moving. We just keep doing it as much as we can.
That's good. Thank you so much for that. And like she rightly said, whatever you have, the kind of profession you have or your career, there's still room to build on it. There's still room to train, because at the end of the day, you want to grow. You want to grow in your business, you want to grow in your career. So you actually give yourself time to do that. Train, research. There's a lot going on the internet right now. You want to research. YouTube is amazing. It's a tool you have to go into and train yourself and be a better version of who you are right now. So I want to CEO Klothouse. I want to say this: while you were facing those challenges, what was your your support system? What are the things that you had to do then to keep you going? Because definitely sometimes it could be really bad,
Oh yeah, sometimes it could be really tough. Sometimes you will break down and be like, you know what, I need to find a job. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to find a job. At least I'm working for someone 9 to 5. Let me just go to work and come back home. I don't have to directly be in front of clients and take the challenges and all. But one thing that kept me going was I would say it's passion.
Okay.
One thing that has kept me going
Okay.
till now is passion.
Okay.
I love to dress women up. I love to dress people up. There are the good times and there are the bad. Then there are the bad times. Whenever I'm going through the bad times, what I do is I remind myself of the times when I've created pieces and people are like, wow, I love this.
Beautiful.
And they've been outstanding, and I've gotten calls, I've gotten referrals, I've gotten big designers call me and say, oh, can you be my tailor and all of that. It tells me that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm good at it. It's just these times are not just, this is just maybe a little mistake that I can improve on, that I can, do better at. So the good times actually keep me going.
Always the bad times. That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. That's so encouraging. So, now we're going to take a short break. We will definitely be right back with